November marks a transition in the garden. The vibrant colours of autumn begin to fade, and a sense of stillness settles in. It's a time for gardeners to shift gears, from harvest to preparing for winter. There's still plenty to do. Protect plants and prepare the ground for spring. Clear away debris and create order. Lay the groundwork for a vibrant spring. As temperatures dip, protecting vulnerable plants from frost becomes paramount. Frost can damage delicate foliage, flowers, and even roots, so taking preventive measures is crucial. One of the simplest methods is to cover plants with horticultural fleece or frost blankets. These lightweight materials allow air and moisture to circulate while providing insulation against the cold. For potted plants, consider moving them to a sheltered location, such as a porch or garage, or grouping them together to create a microclimate. Another effective technique is to water your plants thoroughly before a frost is expected. Moist soil retains heat better than dry soil, providing some degree of protection. Mulching around plants with straw, bark chips, or shredded leaves also helps to insulate the root zone. Remember to remove any coverings during the day when temperatures rise to prevent overheating and allow for air circulation. By taking these simple steps, you can help your plants weather the winter months and emerge healthy and vigorous in the spring. Heavy rainfall and reduced evaporation during November can lead to waterlogged soil, creating unfavorable conditions for plant roots. Excess moisture in the soil can suffocate roots, making them susceptible to rot and disease. To improve drainage, consider adding organic matter, such as compost or well-rotted manure, to your soil. Organic matter improves soil structure, creating air pockets that allow water to drain more effectively. Aerating the soil by gently pricking it with a garden fork can also improve drainage and allow oxygen to reach plant roots. If you're dealing with severely compacted soil, you might want to consider creating raised beds or planting in containers, which provide better drainage than ground-level beds. By addressing drainage issues now, you'll create a healthier environment for your plants to thrive in throughout the winter and into the following growing season. Remember, well-drained soil is key to healthy plants, especially during the wetter months. Fallen leaves can be both a blessing and a curse for gardeners in November. They provide natural mulch, insulating plants and enriching the soil. But they can also smother plants and harbour pests. Know when to rake them up and when to leave them be. Rake leaves regularly on lawns to prevent damage. Shred and compost them or use as mulch. In garden beds, they provide valuable insulation. Remove excess leaves in spring for new growth. Use leaves wisely in your garden. Extending the harvest. Safeguarding late-season crops. Just because summer's bounty has faded doesn't mean the harvest has to end. Many vegetables, such as kale, Brussels sprouts and carrots, can tolerate light frosts and even taste sweeter after exposure to cold temperatures. To extend their growing season, consider using row covers or cloches to protect them from frost. Row covers are lightweight fabrics that are draped over hoops or frames to create a mini greenhouse effect, trapping heat and extending the growing season. Cloches are individual plant covers, often made of glass or plastic, that serve a similar purpose. When harvesting late-season crops, be sure to check for any signs of damage from pests or diseases. Harvest regularly to encourage continued production. and store any surplus produce properly to enjoy the fruits of your labor throughout the winter months. Remember, with a little effort, you can enjoy fresh, homegrown vegetables well into the colder months. Winterizing your tools, a clean break for spring. As the gardening season winds down, it's important to show your tools some love and prepare them for winter storage. Proper cleaning and maintenance will not only extend the life of your tools, but also ensure they're ready to go when spring rolls around. Begin by removing any caked-on soil or debris from your tools using a stiff brush, soapy water, and a garden hose. Once clean, sharpen the blades of cutting tools such as pruners, loppers, and shovels to ensure they make clean cuts and reduce strain on your hands. Apply a light coat of oil to metal surfaces to prevent rust, and store your tools in a dry, protected location. Don't forget about your garden hoses. Drain them thoroughly to prevent freezing and cracking, and store them neatly coiled or hung up to prevent kinks. By taking these simple steps, you'll be thanking yourself when it's time to break ground again in the spring. Remember, a little care now goes a long way in preserving your valuable gardening tools. Planning for spring. The November gardening checklist. While it might seem early, November is an excellent time to start thinking about next year's garden. Planning ahead allows you to order seeds and plants in advance, ensuring you get the varieties you want, and gives you time to make any necessary soil amendments or structural changes to your garden. Start by reviewing this year's successes and challenges. What grew well? What didn't? Are there any new vegetables or flowers you'd like to try? Once you have a general idea of your gardening goals, sketch out a rough plan of your garden beds, noting the location of existing plants and any areas where you'd like to make changes. Consider factors such as sunlight, soil type, and water availability when deciding what to plant where. You can also use this time to research new gardening techniques, order seed catalogues, or attend gardening workshops to further enhance your knowledge and skills. Remember, the more you plan now, the smoother your spring gardening will be. Embracing the quiet season. The rewards of winter gardening. As the days grow shorter and the air turns colder, it's easy to think of winter as a time to hang up your gardening gloves and retreat indoors. However, winter gardening offers its own unique rewards. The quiet beauty of a frosted landscape, the crisp scent of evergreen boughs, and the satisfaction of tending to winter-hardy plants can bring a sense of peace and connection to the natural world. Even in the depths of winter, there are tasks to be done, such as clearing snow from paths, checking on stored plants, and pruning dormant trees and shrubs. Winter is also an excellent time for indoor gardening activities, such as starting seeds indoors, forcing bulbs for early blooms, or simply enjoying the greenery of houseplants. Remember, winter is not an end to gardening, but rather a different chapter, one that invites us to slow down, appreciate the subtle beauty of the season, and reconnect with the earth in a new way. Until next spring, a gardener's farewell. As the last leaves fall and the garden settles into its winter slumber, we bid farewell to another growing season. It's been a journey of growth, abundance, and perhaps a few challenges along the way. But through it all, we've learned, we've nurtured, and we've reaped the rewards of our efforts. As we turn our attention indoors, let's carry the lessons of the garden with us. Let's cultivate patience, resilience, and a deep appreciation for the interconnectedness of all living things. And let's look forward to spring, when the cycle begins anew, and we once again have the opportunity to dig our hands into the soil and watch in wonder as life emerges once more. Until then, happy gardening, and may your winter be filled with warmth, rest, and the sweet anticipation of spring's return. Remember, the garden may sleep, but the gardener's spirit never truly rests.